Hello, and welcome to another episode of the So Here For It podcast. My name is Amy Mingan, and today we are talking all about your wealth vessel, your wealth container, which is contained inside of your nervous system. This is kind of a part two to last week's episode where we related it to your health, to your nervous system, and then to your money. And this is going to expand on what your capacity is utilizing the window of tolerance. And it's a concept that I've heard quite frequently lately. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but I want to bring this into the conversation because the feedback I've been getting on social media when I speak about money in this particular way, it really lands with people. And I thought, well, let's do a deep dive this week into how to actually expand how you feel with your money. Because at the end of the day, if you're setting money goals and you're not getting them, I want to show you today why you're not. And I want to show you how to actually get them. That's the most important thing. So let's do a quick check-in here. I want you to imagine that you've just opened your banking and you've looked at the amount that's sitting in your account. What feeling do you get? I want you to imagine now, just wipe that slate clean. You get to create whatever number makes you feel a particular feeling. So what is the feeling that you want to feel? Do you want to feel relief? Do you want to feel freedom? Do you want to feel expansion? What is the feeling that you want to feel when you open your banking app? I want you to gather that feeling. And then I want you to choose a number that will provide you with that feeling. Because there's a really interesting stat that I want to share with you. Over 90% of women who are in business stress about money every day. 75% of female founders describe themselves when someone asks, "How are you?" They say overwhelmed. And this is where our window of tolerance comes in. It's like if this many women are going out there with their amazing gifts and talents, but in the background, it feels to them in their nervous system because of money, because of their scarcity stories that might be playing out, or because of how unpredictable business can be sometimes, it feels like there's a saber-toothed tiger going at them, but they're just looking at their zero screen. They're in their accounting software. They're just looking at their banking app. There is no saber-toothed tiger, but it is like a modern day saber-toothed tiger. And I'm sure that you felt it at some stage. Now, I want you to consider what is the flaw. And the way you can figure that out for yourself, some people will say, oh, well, I actually really want to be making $30,000 a month. Let's use that as a number because I like to think of it as like $1,000 a day, right? 30 days in a month. And nice round figures. So if you're making $1,000 a day because you've got passive income coming in, you've got your clients who you serve one-on-one, you've got your clients because you've set up packages, you've got your clients because you sometimes will run group programs as well throughout the year. You've got all your different products set up in your product suite, plus you've got investments that pay you as well. Think about that. It feels really good for you to be at this 30K a month. But it's not that in your bank account right now. Imagine it's been 2K one month and 5K the next month and 8K the next month and back down to 2K. And then it's been 10K, woo! And then it's been 12, woo! And then it goes back down to 2K again. You're like, why does it do this? What is it with this feast and famine? And why is there such big gaps in what's happening inside my bank account? Now, the beauty is your bank account is actually showing you where your floor is. If you look at your income from the past 12 months, which is why I suggest looking in Xero if you're using Xero, not that this is an advertisement for that, it's just literally whatever your accounting software that you're using. You might even be just using a spreadsheet. I want you to look back through the last 12 months and actually have a look at your numbers. And that's what I talked about in the last episode. It's like, get real with yourself, tell the truth. Where are you actually at? Now you know where you're at. I want you to go, okay, well, what's the floor been for the last 12 months? Because you'll be able to average out the overall income. Let's just talk gross income, okay? We're not talking about like how much gets taken out for expenses, how much gets taken out for tax, how much gets taken out for your BAS or anything like that for those of you in Australia. Not even talking about superannuation. Let's just talk about the gross amount that you're bringing in your income. And Of course, not that amount is always sitting in your bank account because there are expenses. But I want you to think about it in this way. If you can only feel safe in your nervous system, even if you're making 30K, but you're only feeling safe with 8, guess what your number is going to be in your bank account? It is going to be 8. Your body will find different ways to bring in the frequency of only 8,000 because that is what feels safe to you. So here's some examples of how it plays out. You have a really great cash month. People are paying up front. People joined your group program. You got some dividends paid in from one of your investments. You're feeling on top of the world. So guess what happens? Oh, you don't really need to post on social media this month. Normally you'd put call to action on that. It's okay. I'll just do this stuff for free. Somebody asks for your time. You're giving things away for free. All of a sudden, that momentum that you had last month is slowly starting to leak down. You somehow manifest a new bill, or the car needs something done, or the kids need to go on a school camp that's going to be $3,000. Like, this money, it gets used up because your capacity, your window of tolerance, which I'm going to get to and explain for you in just a moment, your window of tolerance has been reached. Now, you're not doing anything wrong. I just want to say that to you. You're not doing anything wrong. This is a really normal response, and we all have a flaw. And it's something that has frustrated me so much in the past where I'm like, I'm doing everything right, but why is it not going up? It's because the nervous system really, really needs our attention, way more than what we give it. Now, this is a lot of information to take in all at once, and it might have made you feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about it, but I'm here for uncomfortable conversations. I'm here for growth. And if you are too, great. I want to take you through a process, because the process that you do to feel safer in your nervous system is going to completely flip the script on what your flaw is going to be. And it is the most simple thing you will ever do. Now, if you're into any of the gadgets, like if you have a Aura ring, or if you use the heart rate variability on your Apple Watch or anything like that, you'll know about heart rate variability. And that shows us like our readability score. It's like, the closer to 100, the better, right? With heart rate variability. The lower it is, the worse off your nervous system is at that time. Now, the lowest I've seen was like 20 something. A guy who studied breath work with me, he was in the 20s. He did the breath work and he got up to the 80s. And I was like, oh, this is incredible. And he was like really my test bunny. I didn't even realize it at the time of how people can be just so in this functional freeze state where they're just so stressed for so long in that chronic stress as an underliner. Like on the outside, he was like charismatic. He was running a really big business. He just exited the business. So like we're talking really big amounts of cash that this guy's sitting on, but he still had a whole lot of stress running the show in the background. So same thing, things started to like drain out and he's just like, what is going on? And it's so interesting how once his heart rate variability went back up, once we did some nervous system work, all of a sudden his money started to level out again. So true story, by the way, I'm not making this up. This is a true story. This guy lives on the Sunshine Coast. And now he does breath work instead of working in this massive corporation where he used to like install all he came up with like really specific security systems, where you've got to like press the keypad to get into places. He came up with one of those things. Anyway, he's exited that. He's now living his best life. But prior to, he was not feeling good. He barely slept. Now, why is this important? This is important to show you a story of somebody who was on the outside relatively healthy, had a great business, somebody who seemed to be having it all together, on paper. There's a lot of people out there where you're like, oh, wow, that person has it together. You see people on social media, oh, wow, that person has it together. But meanwhile, in the background, if we look at all of their actual metrics, what's happening in their bank account is also what's happening inside their nervous system. And if you are running away from this proverbial saber-toothed tiger all the time, every time you go to look at your bank account, or every time a bill comes in, or every time you've got to speak to your accountant, there is so much deep emotional work that happens there, right? So I want you to feel like you can step into these things and you can remain neutral, or if it does trigger you a little bit, you can come back to a really calm place. Now, let me take you through the process. The process is a really easy breath, and it's just in through the nose. And it's actually a sigh out through the mouth. So I want you to consider the current bank balance. Open up your bank app. Have a look at the bank balance. Notice how you feel. Whatever that is, let's love and accept ourselves regardless. Okay? I just want you to go, okay, this is my current number. We're going to do 5 of these deep breaths. It's called a psychological sigh. And every time you do the out, I want you to physically notice the feeling. Physiologically, you're actually sighing out all of the resistance. Let it go. And notice the change right now. I just want you to, if you're in a place where you can do it, obviously don't do this if you're driving or if you're out walking, but if you're at home and you're listening to this, take a moment, close your eyes. I want you to imagine opening that banking app. It's currently a blank screen. I want you to imagine the feeling first, the feeling that there is more than enough money, the feeling that you have more than enough clients, that they keep coming in. I want you to notice that feeling and now notice what number comes up on your screen. What is your number? Like maybe previously, I'll use the same example. Maybe previously it was $8,000, was always sitting there in your account. And now you can see that there's $28,000. Amazing. Okay, great. I want you to say thank you. We're just going to close that picture down and leave it. I want you now to notice the feeling that you feel. It's always about the feeling. And I want you to notice the ideas that are going to come to you. This is some of the work that we do inside Women of Value Mastermind, by the way. We figure out, where are you now? Where do you want to be? Where is your nervous system capacity for this? And let's put things in place so that you can actually make it. Because some people who say to me that they want to have a $30,000 month, their nervous system is nowhere near it. But also the products that they have out there or the programs that they have out there, they're only just offering one-on-ones. And you'd have to work really, really hard with your one-on-ones in order to get 30K months. So I don't want you to have to work super, super hard and do massive amounts of clients every single week when you can sell packages, you can sell programs, you can run groups, you can have passive income courses coming in. There are so many different ways for you to be able to make that 30K if that's what you're going for, okay? So I want you to consider, with the current offers that you have, what are some multiple different ways, expected and unexpected, that you might have that money coming into your account. I want you to imagine that. You might get pictures, you might get feelings, you might feel gratitude, you might be crying right now. Whatever it is, it's perfectly fine. But I want you to do a little journal session for yourself after this, because this is the deep inner work that is so, so important. It's the stuff that is keeping us unconsciously at the exact same place. And it's super frustrating. Like, it's so frustrating. You know that you're putting effort in. I don't think anyone lacks effort, by the way. I don't think you're lazy. It's your nervous system playing that role. It's like, okay, we just want to keep her safe. We're just going to keep her safe. Let's just give her the same amount. That's what she keeps saying. That's what she keeps focusing on. So instead, we're going to put some things in place that will help you actually move forward. That's number one. But also, it's the process of coming to yourself rather than focusing on everything out there. Because most of the time when you're wanting something, you're seeing everybody else having it. You're desiring it. But what that does is it makes you grasp a hold of it really, really tight. And if you're squeezing something, can it grow? Absolutely not. Choose it. Let it know you're coming. And let it go. Surrender. Then you're taking the steps to go there. The people who get what they want become what they want. They're not grasping on it. They go, okay, well, I'm choosing to take the action steps that I require in order to go there. But it's not coming from that place of like, I want it, I need it, I have to have it. It's coming from the place of already feeling the way that you feel when you have it. So think about the banking app. Okay, opened it up and you had $28,000 in it. Oh my gosh, that feels really good, right? Feels expansive. It feels like you're grateful. But I don't want you to take the foot off the pedal. This is where most people just go, now I can relax. No, you can keep working. It just doesn't have to be from that survival place. You're not running away from the saber-toothed tiger. If anything, the tiger is like curled up next to you and you're like stroking it. And it's just like, oh, that's nice. Yeah. Let's make friends with the tiger. You don't need to make the tiger go away, but we need to like calm the tiger down. So this is your window of tolerance. Let me teach you this little bit. If we had a frame around my face, right? And then at the top, we're talking about hyper arousal. It's in red. And if we talk about cool, calm, clarity, we're here in the green zone. And the green zone is probably from like here to here, right? And then down here is like the blue zone. So if you think about like Antarctica, ice, it's freeze. This is normal. And then this is hyper arousal. So this is where the tiger is. This is where we're feeling calm. We're taking action. We're in the feeling of having it. But this down here, when we're in freeze, is the hardest part. When we're in freeze, we've been in survival for way too long. So we actually want to warm ourselves back up. So one way to do that is to start going walking every day. Start a walk, and it's an intentional walk. The intention of the walk is to warm yourself up. Do not listen to anything. Do not have anything in your ears. You're not listening to music. You're not listening to podcasts. You're not trying to learn anything. You are being with yourself. And the intention is to purely warm up your nervous system. And if you've never done this before, now's a really good time to start doing it. It is a mindfulness walk. Some people will do things like a color walk. They might notice the color green their whole walk. It's really cool. You could try that too. But I want you to do it without having any input inside your ears, without walking with any friends or family or loved ones. You're just going by yourself. This is self-work. In order to come out of freeze, we have to feel safe. So make sure that you feel comfortable. Don't go out like in your bikini in the middle of winter and go for a walk. Not a good idea. Put a tracksuit on. Go walking. Get comfortable. Wear the right shoes. All of that. Doesn't need to be for a really long time. It's just to warm up your nervous system. And then that's going to bring you up into our green zone again. We're feeling cool and calm and clarity. And then you get to take action, remembering what you're taking action towards. The other thing that I want you to tune into here is if you did have that $28,000 sitting in your bank account and it just kept staying there, that's your floor. What would you do? Why do you need it? Why do you want it? Because often we're going to need to tune into like the why. Why did you start your business in the first place? Why did you choose to become a practitioner? Why did you choose to become a coach? Why is it so important to you that you get your message out there? You keep asking yourself that so that you actually have that as a driver, because our internal why is something that it does change over time. And sometimes you'll get to the point where you do have more than enough money, you do have more than enough clients, and then you go searching for meaning. This is how I work with a lot of one-on-one clients. They're looking for more meaning in their life because they thought that what they wanted is what they've got. And then they get there and they're like, oh, I don't know if this is it. And they're looking for more meaning. And it might sound a little philosophical, a little esoteric, and it is. But it's about really, this is where you get to live the life you're here to live. It's less about the survival and it's more about you getting this rich experience from your life. And I'm all about that. This is why from the very beginning, I want you to start mapping out, what do you want in your life? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it just so that you can keep up with the person next door or keep up with that person on social media because your mum said that you needed this or your dad said you needed that? Like, I want you to actually like figure out, what is it that you want? This is a really important question. A lot of people don't know the answer, and it's okay. If you're like, I don't know, that's all right, because we get to experience life and then figure out, a lot of the time it's that, oh no, it's not that. You can put things on the no list and then you can start finding things for your yes list. That's a whole other podcast that I will get into at some stage, but I really want you to do this deeper inner work around your nervous system and your money. It will expand you beyond where you've ever been. And it's some of the most important and meaningful work that you will ever get into. Because I don't know about you, 90% of people, particularly women, worried about money every single day. We need to change that stat. This is really, really important. And the way to change it is to start changing the way we think about it so we can change the way we feel about it. But we need some structure and support around how to actually get there. So remember that physiological sigh. Remember being able to imagine what your bank account looks like and the feeling that you get, but why you're actually doing it in the first place. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, can you share it with a friend and let them know? And like, subscribe, and rate this podcast because it helps me reach more people just like you. Thank you so much for listening today, and I'll see you on the next episode.